Starting on May 18th, we will be returning to the great city, the state capital, Sacramento, where we'll also have the gala before the race. Stage 2 on Monday, May 12th will be the time trial, the individual time trial. We'll be going to Folsom for the very first time, staying in that town. The third stage, Stage 3, Tuesday, May 13th, we will travel from San Jose to Mount Diablo. I think everybody's familiar with San Jose. It's the only city that we've been to all 9 times. And then Mount Diablo, if you watched last year, you know that this is truly an iconic day for this race. We had to return. I'm not sure how happy the riders are. We'll find out, but this is probably the most challenging day that we've seen in the previous 8 years. Stage 4 on Wednesday the 14th, we go from Monterey, a city that we haven't been to since the first year in 2006, and we'll go to Cambria. Pismo Beach, we go to a first-time city. Cambria was a first-time city, and on Thursday, May 15th, we'll start in Pismo Beach and enter in Santa Barbara. Been to there several times along the shore. Friday, May 16th, we go to Santa Clarita and end at Mountain High, mountaintop finish. Saturday, May 17th, back to Santa Clarita, and we end at Pasadena. We did see Pasadena a couple times in the Southern California sports landscape the last couple days. We'll be right there by the Rose Bowl. And then we finish on Sunday, May 18th, Stage 8 in Thousand Oaks. We'll be all around the area that we're in today, and including Westlake Village and all through Thousand Oaks, including right by the campus of our title sponsor these 9 years, Amgen. I'd like to give a special thank you to Amgen, because really without their support, this race would not be possible. Their support as title sponsor, and without their initiative, Break Away from Cancer, we would not have nearly as much to brag about with what we're able to help with the Break Away from Cancer initiatives. Please go to our website and look up Break Away from Cancer and just see all the amazing programs that we've begun around this race. Speaking of all 9 years of the race, I do want to talk about real briefly Executive Director of AEG Sports, Kristen Bachochin. She has been guiding and leading us at the Amgen Tour of California since the beginning. Kristen would be here and actually would be speaking probably a lot better than I would about the race, but like many other people, she is in Chicago, snowed in, and was not able to get a flight out. She's back home. I just talked to her. The pipes did not freeze, so everything's okay in their house, and we'll move on. But Kristen will be back with us at our next event. I did mention we're here as guests today of Cannondale. Cannondale has their whole team in here, as many teams do in California in January and February, not only introduce their whole teams for the year, but also train on the course that we'll be using, but they train just on a variety of different terrains. It's great weather here in January and February, and that's a wonderful legacy that California brings to the sport, is a location for all of that. We will tell you that we're looking forward to seeing our old friends and making new friends. There will be millions of people, and I say that plural, along the course for the 8 days, and millions more, tens of millions more watching around the world. We will again have our network of cycling broadcasters, beginning with the Tour de France organization helping to direct and produce the highlights and the live coverage, and we will go to hundreds of countries and territories throughout the world with live coverage every single day. It's what our race has been known for, and it's one of the things that makes it so popular, is that you can keep up with the cycling, as well as the tour tracker to see all the cyclists minute by minute where they're going. Well, I think without further ado, it would be appropriate and important to talk about our teams coming this year. We're going to announce the first 9 of our teams. These are all Pro Tour teams, and we've never had 9 teams before, and Jim Burrell will tell you in a couple minutes why we were able to do that, but thanks to our friends at the UCI, they've allowed us to have a bigger percentage of Pro Tour teams, and this will be the biggest percentage of teams and the most teams ever to compete in a stage race in the United States. Without further ado, our first teams will include the Belkin Pro Cycling Team, BMC Racing, Cannondale Pro Cycling, Omega Pharma Quick Step Cycling Team, ORICA-GreenEDGE, Team Argos-Shimano, Team Garmin-Sharp, Team Sky, and Trek Factory Racing. And I know that those cycling fans that hear these teams, I know the Cannondale, a couple of the guys looked up and realized the stiff competition they'll be facing, but everybody who follows the sport knows the significance of a field that includes these organizations. So I'd like to invite Jim Burrell, since beginning our race director, up to talk about a couple things that we're going to see with these teams, a couple reasons why they were selected, and maybe point out a couple details of the course that we can look for. So here's Jim Burrell.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, members of the media and everyone in the room today. How are we doing on our live web? We're up and running. So I think before I get into the new ruling and everything, Kristen, can you hear me? Hello, Kristen. I want to go through the list of the 9 pro teams that have accepted the invitation to compete in the 2014 Amgen Tour of California. Again, starting off in alphabetical order with Team Belkin, followed with BMC, Cannondale, Omega Pharma, ORICA-GreenEDGE, Team Argos-Shimano, Garmin-Sharp, Sky, and the Trek Factory Racing Team. And I have to say, you know, with the new ruling that the UCI unveiled in the last Congress this past September, it allowed all 2HC races, which the Amgen Tour of California is, to increase its pro team invitation above 50%. We can go up to 65% of the field can be represented by pro tour teams. And one of the challenging tasks that we were faced with this year, because of the statute of the Amgen Tour of California and what this race means to these pro riders and these pro tour teams, is while we'd love to extend invitation to all of them, we just don't have room for it. But going up to 9 pro tour teams, which means the field is now represented by 50% of all of the pro tour teams in the world. And the selection process was hard because many of them had expressed interest in coming, and some we had to decline because we just didn't have the room to support all those, all the pro tour teams. You know, when you look at the depth and breadth of each one of these teams and you look at the caliber of riders that they have within those teams, you can assure that in May of 2014 we'll have probably one of the most competitive fields ever. When we announce the balance of our teams, those 7 teams, you know, several of them, well, majority of them are going to be some of our continental teams and some of our U23 development programs. And to be able to give those young kids the opportunity to race with these pro athletes is a really a big reward to them. And so we're anxious to continue the process of the invitation and then to announce those 7 teams. So we're really thrilled to be here, and thank you, Cannondale, for allowing us to use your platform to announce the first 9 teams, and we look forward to seeing you all again in May. Turn it back over to Michael and go from there.
We talked about our host cities, and we are happy to have a city council member from one of our host cities, from Thousand Oaks, someone who's not only watched the race before, but has actually ridden the Rockstar Climb. Those of you who have ridden the Rockstar Climb or watched it and wondered who could ever do that, you'll understand and appreciate that. But also watched the race one year in Thousand Oaks via helicopter, so she can talk about a little bit for a minute about what she saw. So from Thousand Oaks, we have Councilmember Jackie Irwin. Jackie?
Well, we are really thrilled to have the tour coming back to Thousand Oaks. Our residents have turned out in huge numbers to watch this race. It's very, very exciting for us. It's actually the 4th time that the race will be coming through Thousand Oaks. And I do want to mention Amgen. We are very, very proud to be the home of Amgen, and they've sponsored the tour every time, and they've facilitated having the finish here. So Kristen Davis is back there. Thank you to Amgen. This is a gorgeous region. When you look at the mountains and you look at this area here, it is perfect for bike riding. So we think it's the perfect place to finish the race. We have a huge biking community, and as a city, we've continued to add a large number of bike lanes to encourage residents to ride. So very, very happy to have you back. And yes, I did the Rock Store ride. It was horrific. And for me, actually, the worst part wasn't going uphill, but it was the downhill is this steep. I think one year we had the riders do it 4 times. So I have or maybe it was 5 times. I have a tremendous respect for these riders. What they go through the tour it was 3 times. 4 times. It was 4 times. Okay. But I have a tremendous respect. This is a very, very difficult sport, and again, it's very thrilling. What we hope for is a really, really exciting finish, and we hope that they come back again. Thank you.
So, Jackie, let me just ask you a real quick question. What's it like on the day before the race and on race day? How much of a buzz goes through the town? And to bring a truly international event to a town like Thousand Oaks, just what kind of stature does that bring to you guys?
Oh, it's huge. This is basically the entire world comes and via television and watches what's going on in Thousand Oaks, and our neighbors are talking about it. You go to the store, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's trying to figure out what the best vantage point is to watch the race. We are really, really honored, and this puts Thousand Oaks on the map as a fantastic biking area.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you in Thousand Oaks. And as I said here today in Westlake, we're here at Team Cannondale's introduction. They've been doing that all this week. And I'd like to introduce one of our hosts from Cannondale, not just Team Cannondale, but anything that says Cannondale. Bob Burbank oversees as a general manager. Say a couple words. Is the general manager of Cannondale Bob Burbank? And I should say welcome to you to our press conference, but you've been welcoming us all day. And I'd like to just ask you, why did you want to put Team Cannondale into the Amgen Tour of California? What is this race? How does it fit into your training, and how does this fit into the calendar?
Great question. How's everybody doing? It's a little quiet today, so this is a great event. Cannondale is actually honored to participate with Amgen's Tour of California. The general reason why we got involved in this race is that we were looking for a premier race in the U.S. by which our global cycling team could participate. So, the first year that we participated, we've been involved with the race for a long time. One of the biggest things that I've noticed about the fans and about what goes on in California is the pure love of cycling, and that's what Cannondale's all about. Cannondale's about not only the racing element, but also about advocacy, health and wellness, etc. And what I love when I come to California, and I'm certainly happy to be here this week because I think it's about -7 back on the East Coast. But when Peter first did his first race here in 2010, day 1, no one knew who Peter Sagan was. Nobody. And by day 3, he was a global sensation. And I think this particular race really launched the start of Peter's career. So we've had a great, great relationship with this event, and we continue to have that relationship. We've done sponsorships. We've done the Chairman's Ride, amongst other things. And I really think that this is not only one of the premier races in North America, but I would say undoubtedly this is one of the most premier races in the world.
When your team arrives here, how does this fit into the actual training regiment that you do before the Tour de France? And are you telling your team Tour de France is 6-8 weeks later, take it easy, or are you telling them we're in it to win?
Well, again, 2010, Peter had an amazing event, won 3 stages. Following year, I think I probably enjoyed the first 4 stages. Last year, in 2012, where Peter went on to win 5 stages, and then went on to win his first green jersey at the Tour de France. So I think this is a great event for our riders in preparation for some of the Grand Tours. And I got to be honest with you, I've ridden the Rockstar climb many times. I've done it twice, and I almost had to get carried back after my second, descent. But there is nothing easy about this race. This is right up there with the other races, and this is great, great event for our riders, but also in continuation for the Grand Tours.
Well, we again thank you for your hospitality, and especially thank you for bringing one of the world's premier cycling teams, Cannondale, back to California for the Amgen Tour of California.
Yes, and thank you very much to Amgen for stepping up and continually to support this event. I think it's an important event here in the U.S. It's certainly important for us, but I think it's even more important for the cycling community. So, thank you.
And last but not least, we'd like to invite, we've said Cannondale over and over again. In fact, you've heard Peter's name over and over again. We'd like to invite up two of literally the world's premier riders, the two riders who lead Team Cannondale. We'd like to invite up Peter Sagan and Ted King, and we'll talk to them for a couple minutes. Actually, before we let them talk, I want to talk about them a little bit. They say that Peter Sagan is one of the most exciting riders in professional peloton. We say that because of, we say that in California because it seems that once he joined our race, he was winning a lot. In fact, he's won more than any rider in the history of Amgen Tour of California, 10 stages. He has a unique style that we won't talk about today, but go back and look at some of the videos. The style, to me, is he's always having fun out there, and he's very passionate about the sport. He won the sprint jersey in 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, and he's made a lot of money. We're hoping in 2014 we actually sell him sponsorship of the jersey that he's going to win anyway, maybe. But there will be a lot of other competition. And to his left is one of the fan favorites, certainly of the race, and having fun out there is probably an understatement because Ted probably works harder than anybody, but you look at him and you know that he enjoys what he does. He probably is Peter's hardest working teammate, leads him out more often than not, and really I think, in fact, this is your 8th time in the Tour of California, and talk about leading out. You haven't won a stage, but clearly to most people that watch, neither would have Peter had you not been his teammate and someone that helps so much. So what's it like to be someone who grinds it out in the beginning and sets up the day?
Yeah, I mean, working for the likes of Peter, those Palmares sort of speak for themselves. But yeah, there's a lot of grinding out, a lot of miles from start to finish here at California. But I mean, to go to bat for a guy like this who the odds, he's the spot-on odds-on favorite. It builds a lot of confidence going into the stage. But then on top of that, I mean, look at the route that we have in 2014, and I think there's a lot of things that we mixed up pretty early on with the time trial, stage 2, and then a mountaintop finish right there. So, maybe we aren't defending the leader's jersey straight away, and we can really mix it up and go for breaks. I'll go for that stage win.
So, Peter, as our most decorated rider, coming back to California again, can you talk about a couple things that make California and the Amgen Tour of California so special for you?
Hello everybody. Yeah, for me, Tour of California, it's a very special race because before when I was a kid, I was always dreaming come here in America, and first time when I come here, it was for Tour of California, and then I did here very good results. I won 2 stages, and I see here the cycling fans and people and lifestyle here, and it was first time when I come here, and it's very special also for me and also the America. It's very nice.
Talk about America, but you also certainly race in every other big race. But we like to think that we have the fans in California are as good or better than fans anywhere in the world. Peter, talk about the fans, how they've grown to love you, and what do the fans make you think that you're in Europe, or are they maybe even better?
Yeah, here, here in America, fans it's crazy. The people love the cycling, and people knows how doing for the rider makes happy, you know. And yeah, also when you going in the climb, everybody it's how to say it?
Costumes?
Yeah, the costumes and everybody.
Just everybody's shouting, everybody's yelling.
Yeah, and it's very loudly, and you keep going the up also when you don't have more energy. Yeah, it's very nice here.
So talk about the course, Ted. And you mentioned it's a really hard course. What are some of the things about this year's course that you think are going to be challenges to everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I look at the course. I'm excited straight off the bat. You know, we have a sprint stage fairly straight. I mean, right away. You know, it's a stage in Sacramento that ideally is going to be set up for this guy. And I mean, right, the year that he won 5 stages, I think virtually any other rider, any other race without this guy in the race, it would have been 5 different wins by 5 different riders. But he's something special. You know, the time trial coming stage 2, that's really going to mix up the GC, and especially also the same thing, say stage 3, mountaintop finish there. I've been lucky enough to train all over California, so I know the stages into Santa Barbara. I know down here at the Thousand Oaks. I'm not really looking forward to going up Rockstore 4, 5, 3, whatever. I imagine we're going to be in that area.
You would send that to Jim Burrell.
I may have sent that message to him already.
I think he went from 4 to 5 today since you said that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. We've taken the team around Rockstore this week, and they're gasping, saying, how many times are we going up this?
So how would you compare Rockstar to Mount Diablo?
Totally different animal, but we did Diablo last year. That was a blast. I enjoyed that. The fans were incredible, and I've actually never done the Rockstore in the race, so maybe there's going to be a lot of people there, and that'll be a new adventure as well.
Peter, how does the Amgen Tour of California prepare you for the Tour de France? What's in the race that helps you get ready for Tour de France?
Yeah, after the first part of the season, I mean the classic, I have a little bit rest, and when I start the training, and Tour of California is first race after the little bit rest, and also it's good because it's stages race. Yeah, we have here eight stages, and I think it's very good preparation because it's also too many good riders here, and they can putting you in the group, and also it's the climb, and it's also flat stages and climb stages, the time trial, and yeah, it's I think good preparation before the tour because it's the first step after a little bit rest for me, and it's for now I did the 4th time this race, and every year it was very good for me.
So what did you learn last year at the Tour de France that's going to help you at the Tour of California? We think California helps with Tour de France. What did you learn at Tour de France that will help you this year at the Amgen Tour of California?
I'll tackle that one for him.
I don't think it's a trick question. I think
I mean, the results speak for themselves. Year after year, it's almost self-perpetuating. He has a good California, which leads to a good Tour de France, which leads to a good California, which leads to a good Tour de France. He's got a good thing going.
And when you talk about California, yes, he does. When you talk about Tour de California, what else, maybe off the course, Ted, has appealed to you about being here and being amongst Californians in these cities?
Yeah, I mean, like Bob said, I'm a New Englander, so I could be back enjoying some snow right now, but I choose California as some premier training grounds. And yeah, I mean, I spent time both NorCal, Southern California. I mean, obviously the weather's stunning. My first week out here after the holidays, after Christmas, I didn't see a single cloud for the entire time. It's a very nice place culinarily. The wine scene here is top notch. So yeah, we've talked about sharing a glass or bottle or two. So it's a good spot.
Cool. And compare this really to the European races. Do the riders? We've heard some of the riders come here because the conditions are a little different off the course as well. What's the reputation around the world for this race?
I mean, I kid you not, riders come here from Europe just with a smile on their face. They're plush hotel rooms. We get big beds. We get to live. I'm not kidding. Like, you guys might laugh, but those are the things you're really looking forward to.
We make sure every rider gets a pillow.
Absolutely, you get a pillow. But I mean, the roads are big. The roads are enjoyable. The scenery is phenomenal. It's truly an enjoyable race to be part of. And so yeah, the peloton really looks forward to it.
All right, one last question for each of you. Start with Ted. What's your prediction for the 2014 Amgen Tour of California, for yourself and for your team?
Ooh la la. I think you will see Cannondale Pro Cycling on the front a lot. I think I will predict my own stage win. I think Peter will probably take a handful of stage wins. There you have it. Cannondale Pro Cycling on the front a lot, including crossing the line on the front.
Peter, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I think the Ted say everything. It's good.
So Ted predicted a stage win. Do you want to tell us which stage you're going to help Ted win?
Yeah, we will see after when we see how it's going the race. But yeah, we can help him.
We can't tell the audience. The competition. We got to keep it sneaky.
Well, for everybody, we'd like to thank you for tuning in on the web and for continuing to follow the Amgen Tour of California. As you know, on the Amgen Tour of California website, there are updates weekly, if not daily. We are already taking orders and showing off some of the kits. We have the kits over there, with a bear, the new look a little bit there, and we look forward to seeing everybody May 11th to 18th, starting May 11th in Sacramento. And please look at the course and figure out how many stages you'll be joining us for, because this is truly an international event coming to the state of California, coming to a town near you, and it'd be a great thing to take advantage of. So until we see you again, thank you very much for your support, and we'll see you at the Amgen Tour of California.